Thank you all. Thanks for joining. Welcome to Stock Group. Today is Saturday, October 23rd. So before we get started, just want to go through this with you. I've spoken to you all about it before, but for those that are inclined, and particularly if you want to trade, it's like a fantasy stock and crypto trading game. So it's called TradeChamps.io. Dave, go on mute for me. TradeChamps.io. And so if you go out here, you sign up. What happens is that it runs a contest every day. So actually, you just missed it, but at 9:15 every day, you can actually enter a contest in. So let's say if I was going to enter a contest, what you're doing is just using your stocking crypto knowledge. And if you think stock or crypto are going to go up, you can create your portfolio. And a portfolio is just one or two, three, four assets, doesn't matter. And you got a $100,000 fictitious portfolio here. And then you can go in, you can buy assets. So let's just say if I'm doing crypto. So crypto is on the weekends. Stocks are Monday through Friday. So let's just say, Bitcoin is going up, come back down. Let's just say I'm gonna buy, say about 50,000 Bitcoin. And let's actually look and see what Bitcoin is doing. Look at the chart. Come on, please. She's slow this morning. Like Bitcoin hit a high of 66 4 days ago. It's come down. It went below 59. Now it's kind of stabilizing. Now I think it might get a little bounce. So I'll say, I think the price of Bitcoin is going to go up. All right. Okay. And you can do the whole 100,000 on one particular asset if you want to, or you can divide it. So let's see what else. Let's see what Doge is doing. Let's see, Doge had a little bounce. Let's see here. Yeah, so. Let's say Doge go up there as well. And this is a daily, contest. So I think Doge is going to go up as well, right? So Doge. I think it's going to go up as well. All right, so I'm entered the contest, right? So let me show you what happens. Go to one of the older contests here. So this contest is currently running. Let me see. I think I entered it yesterday. Let's see what place I'm in. Trying to see the current contest. Yeah, this one is live. What's the date? Yeah, it's 23rd. Okay, check the leaderboard. That's what I'm trying to find. I missed this contest. I didn't enter it for the day, but you can see that. So you can see somebody here. They entered today. They picked Dash. And they used all their amount for Dash. And so, second guy, he picked BTC, he was shorting it. Just a guy, he picked BTC and Ethereum. So And what it does, it figures up for all the different contestants. It figures up the performance of the stock, or in this case, the crypto for the day. And the contest starts every day at 9:30 and it ends at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But your entries have to be in by 9:30. I'm sorry, your entries have to be in by 9:15. So a new contest starts every day at 9:30 a.m., ends at 4 p.m. If you want to enter today's contest, you enter by 9:15 Eastern every day. And so since it was already after 9:30, what I just put in would enter into tomorrow's contest. Again, I just showed you how you go through it. Just hit the enter contest button, say tap now, create your contest entry, and then click on buy assets. And you can see when we were in the buy assets section, I can either go long or short, meaning that if I think a particular crypto, again, for the weekends, is going to go up, I can go long. If I think it's going to go down, I can go short. And then you just wait until 4:30. 4 o'clock. And by 4:30, all the results and everything will be posted. And right now they're paying out $25 a day for this. There's no contest entry fee as of right now. And that's through October 24th. So after the 24th, the contest entry fee will be $5. And as more users and stuff get on, then it's going to increase. So what I would say is, particularly for people that have limited money and they want to use their technical analysis using their charts and stuff that we go on TradingView, you can go out here, set your account up, come in by 9:15 every day, and enter the contest with a chance to win. So it's a pretty good site. I've won a few contests, and the community is small right now, but it's growing. And so you can see some guys on here that have won. So it's the leaderboard. So give it a try. Use your knowledge of reading charts, following crypto, following stocks, and tell your friends about it. So thanks for the Trade Champ sponsorship. Appreciate it. All right, let's get into the stocks. Oh, one last thing on Trade Champs. If you sign up, you'll get a portfolio and get a profile area. So you go to your profile, you set your profile up, and in your profile, you go down here to referral. Go to my account area. You have a thing called refer and earn. If you set up and you refer people, you have a referral link here. So I would say, put your referral link, and use that for your friends. Because what happens is people sign up, you'll get credited for referrals and earn you a little bonus. So don't forget that if you sign up for it. Again, thanks. TradeChamps.io. Give it a look. Okay. Now let's go back to our stock stuff. So let's see what the market did this week. All right. Actually, started the week off pretty good. So let's see, Friday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday. So you can see the Dow here. Dow has been up actually since last Wednesday. Had a pretty good run, pretty much up every day. So all the industrials, Dow industrials, stocks or things related to that should have done well. Look at the NASDAQ. Similar pattern, but you can see on Wednesday and Friday, got a pullback, but still trending up. See about the Russell chart up as well. Good week. You can see it was up 4 of the 5 days, only a pullback on yesterday. And then the S&P 500. S&P 500 up really good. Got a good pullback yesterday. Yesterday was kind of like a neutral day. So this week your portfolio should have gone up, just based upon the major indices, were higher. All right, let's look at some of the stocks. Let's look at Apple. Apple actually came out with an announcement. I think it was Tuesday, I believe it was. Came out with some new Mac computers, new versions. So they've done well off of the lows of this 39, 38 area. So definitely in an uptrend here. And actually, if you go back, broke that downtrend from hit a high back in September, got as low as 38 and some change. And then it broke that uptrend, retreated a little bit, got back down to this 39 area. And then it's been up, effectively the past 2 weeks. So that's Apple. Let's check out Facebook. They've had some challenges the last couple of days here. Facebook is still going up, going down. Recovered earlier this week, but then it got killed on Friday. So, Facebook has been all in the news. Let's see. Hey, let's check out this Fubo, one I'm interested in. So you can see Fubo is on a good run, bouncing off to 23, got back up. I told you all, buy Fubo. You buy it anytime at that 25 level. Gets up to 28, actually got to 30, almost 31, and pull back. And I'll tell you all about the trade I have in here a little bit later. Let's see. Let's look at Home Depot. These builders have been rocking. They kind of peaked out in September, got a pullback, but since October, this thing has been on a nice run. I don't have any. Wish I did. But yeah, so it's a good run in Home Depot. It's still up on the trend. That's good. Let's see. Look at IBM. IBM got killed on earnings. I guess earnings must have been extremely bad because they took this thing out and shot it. So, but let's look at where we are in terms of let's look on the weekly here for IBM. So you can see that IBM is down here below support of 129. I really would like for it to get back down here to this 122-ish, but you could possibly see what it's going to do. It's probably going to take a few more days to figure out if it's going to be able to hold this 129, 127 area, or if it's going to retreat back down this 122. But yeah, they got killed on earnings there. Until you look at the last time they dropped from a high there, they dropped here all the way back down. But I think that's Corona there. So can't really look at that one. From here, 2018 dropped from 129 to, let's see what that percentage is. Dropped from 129 to about 25%. So let's see how much this is. Probably about 10 or 12. Yeah, about 12% here drop. So pay attention to that. Might be something you want to look at if it gets back down that 122 area. Let's see. A few things this week. Let's look at Moderna. Moderna came down, bounced off this 289, and actually was going. So remember when we first started, we were talking about the indices. So pretty much everything was up for the week, and Moderna was down, up slightly Monday, down big Tuesday and Wednesday, and got a slight recovery Thursday and Friday. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can get back and close above this 340 level. So Moderna, let's look at what Pfizer is doing. Again, corona-related medicines. Actually, they've been getting killed, and they finally got a bounce on Friday. Let's look at volume. Interesting. They were down big on volume, but they actually got a bounce right here. I would definitely keep an eye and see if you can get, if it can stay above this 42.18. It is at the 43.11 now, but if it can stay at this 42.18, you know, might want to look at that. If this doesn't hold, then you look at that 38.86. But Pfizer might be interesting. Let's see. Let's look at Square. Square got hit up pretty bad yesterday. I'm sorry, that was a weekly. Let me get back to my dailies. So on the daily chart here, you can see Square was had a pretty decent rise off of the lows October 4th, and then again on the 11th, and it's pretty much going up. So it participated in accordance kind of what the NASDAQ is. Square is a tech stock, you know. Square is the maker of Cash App, so you know a lot of people use that. But they got a big pullback yesterday, so a lot of things were down yesterday. Speaking of which, let me go back to the S&P. I want to see something. So on the S&P 500, remember we all talked about when we got that big pullback, we looked at this 43 area, and this area held for us, and we got a strong bounce off the 43. You can see we're right up here at support at 45, 44. Yesterday was really like I say, a neutral day. It's going to be interesting to see if we can hold this 45, 46 area. And let me see. Actually, that's an all-time high. So there's nothing to the left that's going to be higher there. So it's going to be interesting to see if this can continue to hold or we'll retreat. So I'll definitely pay attention to this. So that's that. Let me see. Let's look at and pull up the sheet. Any questions on anything before we start looking at the individual holdings? Yes, no, maybe. We got John, Christian. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right.
Sorry about that.
All right, no worries. Any questions? Any questions?
Not from me.
Okay. All right. Well, Christian, let's look at your hood.
Yep.
Actually, I thought the hood should have done well. But actually, they got. So we was talking about NASDAQ. Hood is a tech stock. So where the NASDAQ did well this week, actually the past 2 weeks, Hood has just been going sideways. So we talked about this 39 level. We actually at the bottom of this bottom part here. Yeah, Christian, I don't. What are you thinking here?
I think they just hold him, to be honest, because I mean the 39.40 level, it hasn't really gone too much below it, but at the same time, they're not going up, and all the stocks for the past week or two have been going up from the index season stuff. So I don't know what's going on with Hood, to be honest, and I've been trying to keep up with that.
Have you bought any more, or you just staying packed on it?
Staying packed, even though this probably would be the time to just buy it, because I'm assuming it's going to go up. I just got to figure out what that threshold is going to be to make it go up now.
Okay. Got it. Any other stocks you're looking at other than Hood? I know you were following this one. Did you ever buy in this BCPC?
Not recently. I did go cash on it, but I want to go back in there. It's just timing for that one since it's been on a good old run.
Right. Understood. Okay. Let's see who else we got. Thanks, Christian.
Mhm.
I know we had David on. I think he dropped. Dre, let's go. We can go back and talk about this Fubo. Let's see. Can you hear me, Dre?
What's up, Mike?
Come on, man. Yeah, so Fubo here. This thing ran up to 31. We got a good pullback, particularly yesterday. This thing dropped down as low as 27.98, and it closed it recovered a bit toward the end.
Yeah, but we got a hard limit at 25, so I think we probably just leave it at 25.
Yeah, just gonna wait till it comes down. Okay. Yeah. That's I like that as well. It's gonna be interesting to see though, because you look at last time we got into this upper limit of this box, and you can see that it touched right at the bottom part of this two-phased area in this gold. And so it's gonna be interesting to see if it continue to hold this 28 level, go sideways, or it's gonna drip back down. I would like for it to drip back down to this 25 to get in and play that again, because we played that bounce a few times and it's
right. But let me ask you this: if we can't get back down to the 25, should we set a new buy area or just hold it?
No, that's a great question. I think we may have to, but I don't think we have quite enough data yet. I would like to see probably another week or so of trading to kind of see what happens. Because right here, let me draw this. Right here, we're literally just right at this line, right? And so if it can stay above this line for some time, so like it did here, when it got down here to this 25-ish area, you can see it just kind of went sideways. It was in this range, but it was just sideways. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 areas, but it gave us enough time for us to see this visually that, okay, this 25, 14, $25 area was support. Whereas right here, I don't really know where the support is, if it's going to hold at this 28 level. So we just need some time for that to play out before we say, hey, let's put a new entry to get in at the 28. I don't think we just have enough data for that yet. So
and
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I would just sit back and wait on. I mean,
no, but you was gonna say something else. Go ahead.
I just about the other stock I asked you about. That.
Oh, what is that?
We get a.
What is that thing? D.
It was DWAC.
Yeah, that's that Trump crap. I ain't fooling with Trump. But I look at it. I mean, I know. I'm just, If
I know money.
If you want to buy, you can buy. But
no.
But this is why. Yeah, right. But here's the thing on it though. This thing ran from. So for everybody, this is a SPAC stock. So what a SPAC is a special purpose acquisition company. So what they do is guys with big money, they get together and they raise a bunch of money and they create what they call it as a shell company. So they don't have a business, but they're going out looking for businesses to acquire. And once they find a business they can partner with, then they'll bring that business public through that SPAC company that they've set up. And so what happens is this was a SPAC company and they partner with Trump on some new social media thing that he's supposed to be coming out with. And so that news came out, man, this thing ran. So you can see it ran from $10 up to, 160. And this is just literally 2 trading days?
Yeah.
Well, actually, in terms of the bump. Well, I take that back. So what are we looking at? Just going back. No, this goes back to October. Yeah. 2 trading days. So you see here, 21st, 22nd. It's just so volatile because I mean, it hit a high of 168. It closed at what was it closed at? 81. And then in the after hours, it came back down and it went back up. So I don't like it because you don't have a pattern here that you can really trade on. Because here, if you'd have bought it, you just been lucky to get it in here. You found out about it, you jumped on it, right? This is overnight stuff here. And then when it opened back up, it was already up. And then people that jumped in on Friday, just trying to think that they was going to make a buck on it, they lost their shirt. Unless they got in on this bounce at the 77, rode it up to 111, got out. But then even if you got in at this 111, you're down now to this 94 or closed at, says 94 here, but it's showing, 81. So when stuff comes out like this and it's all the rage, you really just need time because the whole thing for us using charts, we want to use the charts to give us an advantage. Right now, you don't have enough on this chart, and this is a 15-minute chart. So if I go to daily, you're just gonna see, 2 bars effectively. So I don't have enough on this chart to make an assessment about what I'm gonna do. So in that case, at this point, it's just a 50 chance. You got 50% chance to go up, 50% chance to go down. The chart is not giving me any kind of edge. So, you really just have to wait till it starts to define a pattern. Now, the more speculative people are, they may jump in, before a pattern is defined, and they might be right, but they might be wrong. So I would just stay away from it until, I get probably, 2 weeks worth of data just on a daily chart, so I can start really looking at what this thing is going to do.
Okay.
But even so, even on a 15-minute, all we can see right now is that, got that 41 and right where we are in terms of the 75 here, right? And just looking at, recent price points. But I would say definitely give it this week to figure out where it's going to settle in at. Because, it could go back up here, or this could be the new low. I mean, the new base, or do we get back down here to the 17 level? I have no idea, but I know it's a lot of speculation around it for sure. So, but that's about all I can say to that one.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about this Fubo. Go back to that Fubo because I actually have So I talked to you all about a little bit about covered calls. So this is, you know what? Let me save that part. Let me get through everybody else first, and then we'll come back to that one. Okay. Let's see. What's up, Barry? How you doing? What's up, Jonathan? John, how you doing, man? I ain't seen you in a while, John. How you been?
Great. How y'all been?
Doing good, sir. Let's see. John, did you ever get a stock? Okay, Nike. Let's look at your Nike. Have you been following Nike in terms of what it's been doing?
A little bit. I've been looking to something else though.
Okay. What else you looking at? Which one pull up?
It's called Shiba. It's HIB.
Oh, you on that crypto. All right. Yeah, let me go.
I ain't known it. I just been like hearing people talking about it.
Did you buy any?
Nah, I couldn't really find it on the stock I've been.
You have to have you're gonna either have to get it on Coinbase.
Acorns or
Yeah, Coinbase. Yeah, Coinbase.com, or I don't know if they put it on Robinhood. I heard that somebody was talking about it was supposed to be coming to Robinhood, but I don't think it's there yet.
Yeah, I couldn't find it on Robinhood.
Yeah, I don't think they listed it yet. But yeah, but it's
But
just,
I can get it on Coinbase.
yeah, you can get it on Coinbase. Mhm.
Uh,
But it's been going sideways. But there's a lot of supply in this thing, so, and it's had a pretty good run. Oh, that's market cap. Hold on, that's not one. That's not what I want.
it's AB. Oh, A.
Yeah, here it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the market cap. But yeah, it still looks the same though. So yeah, so you got a good run here off of this 888 Satoshis up to where it is now, 2806. So it's just in this box, and then so if I extend this box out that we had before, just keep going. I really want to see what it does. It came down here, it bounced on this 2474, and it's in this little bitty uptrend here. So see if it can close, above this area and break out of this box, particularly right here. If it can break above this 2963, then then this 3193 may be in play. But it got to break out above, get a close above the top of this box, and then see what happens. So let's go back to that Nike. Actually, Nike got a pretty big pullback here in September, all the way down to, what's this? Had a bounce at 44. So actually on earnings, they got as low as 145. But you can see they've had a really nice run off of that 145 to,
Wow.
yeah, off this 145 back up to 163. So that would have been a good little run, going up there. So if anybody in that Nike, probably pretty happy if you caught it down. If you caught it down this way. So it broke that trend line down, bounced good. And so again, let's extend this out a little bit. Okay. So you can see here, this 145, that was a upper, that was definitely resistance going back, last year. But you can see here, it also served as support here. So if you'd have been looking at this chart, it definitely would have helped to kind of have this on the chart, and you can see where that was resistance point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different times. It broke up. It actually got a gap up on earnings there, came back down, retested at this 144, and then it's just been a rocket ship off of there from 144 to 163. So if you just say, what is that? I don't know how much percentage is that from here to here. It's like 13%. You're talking a matter what, 3 weeks or so. Yeah. So that's definitely a nice bounce. All right. Let's see who else we have. Barry. I think you had some Tesla, I believe. Can you talk, Barry, or no? If you can't talk, just put it in chat. Okay, you dropped out. All right. So let me go back to this. So we talked a little bit. I'm gonna go back to this Fubo. We talked a little bit before, just in terms of options. Let me just show you all something on this option piece here. So on the right on the screen, you should see my trading app here. All right. what I want to show is Fubo. Let's look up Fubo. Fubo. All right. So what I have here is, let's just look at the middle. So you can see Fubo is trading at 25.08, right? 25.52, but you can see here in the after hours. So we just say 28.50, right? So in the 28.50, what I want to do is go over here to my options chain. So there's a technique in options that are called covered calls. And so I had some on Fubo, but my option expired yesterday. And so what happened is my stock got called away from me. So what I wanted to do is say buy 100 shares of Fubo. So if I buy 100 shares of Fubo, so let's just put it in. I'll show you. So if I say, hey, I want to buy 100 shares of Fubo, that'd be $2,800, right? So let's say I bought that, and that was live, and I have it in my account. Once I have that in my account, there's a thing that we call a covered call that then I can go out. So say I bought it at 28.50, I can go out and then sell a higher call. And so these are strike prices. So strike prices is just the price of what you're using for the stock, right? So I want to say, hey, I want to sell a 29 strike, right? So if I sell a 29 strike, and these prices haven't reset because this number is wrong. Yeah, they haven't reset the numbers. I won't do it because the numbers on here are not right for this, because they haven't reset the numbers in the app yet. Let me see if they're better here on November 5th. No. So it looks like they must be updating. So let's see if I can go to Yahoo to find some real numbers on that. All right, so put in Fubo. Go to options chain. Okay. And what was that? The weekly, October 21st. 29th. I guess it is. Yeah, I guess it would be the 29th, right? And I want to look at the 29 strike. So it looks like here the 29 strikes is around 78 cent, 74 cent to 80 cent, right? So what I could do is I could sell one contract and collect between 74 and 80 cent. So what that means is that for the 100 shares that I bought at 28.50, I can sell a call against it, and I can collect premium of 74 cents. So you say 74 cent. So what is that math wise? So if you say 28, so you say 74 cent divided by 28.50. So it's about 2.5%. So if this stock closes this Friday, which is October 29th, this coming Friday, if the stock closes above $29, then they would take the stock away from me and they would give me $29 a share, right? If the stock doesn't close above the $29, I just keep the 74 cent a share that they gave me. And so I could make, 2.5% within 7 days, right? So you say 2.5%, that's not much, but you got to think about it. That's in a week's time. If you could repeat this process, weekly, so you say 4 weeks in a month, you do that 4 times. So now you're talking 2.5%. 4 times is, that'll be 10%. Didn't mean to do that. So 10% if I did that for 4 times in a row, right? So again, this is an income strategy that you can do that, right? And if you say, okay, hey, if I could produce that, and so trying to find weekly options that you can gain at least 1% or more is what I'm finding out is pretty good. 1% a week, so that'd be 4% a month, and 12 months, that'd be 48% a year, right? That'd be pretty darn good, whereas like your indices. So let's look. Let me give you an example here. So we talk about the S&P, right? So let's look at the S&P and just use this for year to date. All right. Okay, actually, we can do it right here. We don't have to go anywhere. So you can see here, year to date total returns is 21%, right? So we're almost, so we're in the third quarter now. No, we're in fourth quarter. So we only, we got less than about 1.5 months left before the year closes out. And the S&P 500 as a index, which is a broad market index that we use, it's only up 21% for the entire year. Whereas what we just showed here is we're possibly making 2.5% in 7 days on this trade. So if you can repeat that, and like I said, if you did that 4 times at 2.5%, that'll be 10%. So you're talking about in a month, you can possibly make half of what the whole S&P 500 did in a year. So where, again, 2.5% doesn't look like much, but you got to consider the time frame upon which it's over. So I'm looking on Monday is to go back into Fubo, buy this. And again, if it continues to trade where it is now, let's just say I get an entry in at the 28 level, and then I'm gonna turn around and need to sell this 29 call for right here. Sell this 29 call. Let me go back to Fubo. Sell this 29 call for the 74 cent. Or maybe you can go out to the 30 and sell it for the 45, but I may just go with this here because it's a weekly, and just sell that for 74 cent and just get that 2.5%, and then just try to repeat this weekly. Now these are higher. 2.5% in 7 days is a lot. So I don't know how long I'm going to be able to sustain that, but it's just a income strategy that I'm trying to get myself familiar with and repeat, and just add it as another skill, to trading. So again, that's called a covered call. You buy 100 shares of stock, and then you sell an option against it. You sell a call option against it. So it's covered call. And if you need an explanation on it, you can probably a better one than what I just gave. I think it's Investopedia. Yeah, you can go out here. Call definition. So what is a covered call? Yeah. The term refers to collecting a financial transaction in which the investor selling call options owns an equivalent amount of the underlying security. I own 100 shares of Fubo, and I want to sell a call option against it. To execute this, the investor holds a long position, meaning that I hold 100 shares of an assets, then writes. So sometimes they say covered call or selling a call is sometimes referred to as writing. So you write or sell call options on that same asset to generate an income stream. So it's exactly what I'm trying to do. So the investor's long position in the asset is covered. That's where the whole word covered is. So it's covered because it means the seller can deliver the shares if the buyer of the call options chooses to exercise. So So that's the formal definition of it. But you buy 100 shares, you get the 100 shares in your account, then you sell a call option against it, particularly at a higher price than what you bought it at, and you collect that premium. And then you just wait for the option to expire, and either your position get exercised and called away, or you just keep the premium and you keep the stock. So in any way, you do well on the trade. Now, where this doesn't work and you can lose money is if Fubo goes down below the price in which I bought it. So if it closes below this 28.50, if it closes below, let's say if it goes back down here to this 25, then this strategy, even though I still collect the premium, my overall position will be down because my 100 shares will be lower. So if I go from 28 to 25, that'd be a 3-point loss. I got 100 shares, so I'd be down $300, right? So that's how that works. So that's how you can lose money in this particular strategy if the stock goes down. But it's no different than if you just own the stock outright and it went from 28 down to 25, you still would be down $300. So no difference there. All right. Let's see. Any questions? Let's see. Okay, Barry, you're back. How you doing, man? Can you talk or are you at work? Let's see. Barry might be at work. All right, Barry, I know you had Tesla. Let's look at Tesla. Or you're following Tesla.
Hey, Mike.
Yes,
yeah, I'm at work.
Okay.
I'm just trying to pay attention while
Okay, you cool.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All right, so Barry, looking at this Tesla's been running crazy. Actually, is this an all-time high? Yeah, Tesla at an all-time high.
Yeah, all time high.
Oh, wow. This thing.
It been running, man.
I see. Oh, this is crazy. Okay.
It is.
Hey, that's a good crazy.
been through some storms with this sucker though.
Yeah, you gotta.
Man. But yeah, I had sold it though.
So you're not in it right now?
No, I'm not in it. I was in it, but I sold it months back.
Okay. Yeah, they rocking. Now, so let's just, just for the sake of this, and if y'all tell me if y'all don't want to talk about this, but so I got a buddy of mine. He and some of his boys, they've been doing this cover call strategy, and they've been doing it on Tesla. So let's see, and they playing with obviously big money, but but again, if you were to take that same thing, Tesla's trading at 909, and say you sold the, I'm gonna go back out here because it's not updating on my screen. I gotta go back to Yahoo. Sorry, pull that down. Let's go back to Yahoo. Let's put in Tesla here. Let's look at the call options on Tesla. So Tesla's trading at 909. We're going to look at a strike of 910 or 920. And let's see what those call options are going for. So strikes. That's fine. 920. Okay, so 910 or 920. So you could collect either for the 910, you could collect $17.67, or the 920 you collect so anywhere between $17.65 and $17.90, or $13.10 and $13.20. So let's just do the math on that real quick. So if you say you bought it at 910 and you can collect with that 13, let's say 17, we just go to 1765. That's lower. All right. And that's so you're talking about almost 2%. It's a 1.9. So even with this stock being much higher, it still is not giving you as much as that FUBO, because the FUBO was 2.5%, whereas this is 1.9%, right? So FUBO would offer a better bang for your buck, even though this stock is, significantly higher. So that's one way that you can price options one to another to see where your money would be best used. So if I were just looking at this quick calculation, I was like, oh, FUBO offers a better deal. Even if you had this kind of money and you wanted to put in, you can just increase the number of contracts and just go buy FUBO and make 6% better than this 1.9%. But at any rate, you could still, go through this. Now, so let's just sit on the cover calls. So anytime you just take the premium that you collect, divided by the strike price, and that'll tell you what the percentage is. And again, the only way this loses is if the stock, you bought it at 9.10. If the stock closes below 9.10, would you lose money on this? But as long as it closes above the 9.10, will you be profitable? So again, covered call strategy, and like I say, I'm testing it out, just trying to add it as another arsenal in my trading repertoire, to be able to add. And again, I want to do it to, earn the percentage, but I'm really thinking about it as an income strategy. So if one day I want to retire, so trying to figure out how can I replace some of the income from a job that I wouldn't have if I retired, and how could I use another strategy to help produce some income to replace that. So that's why I'm looking at the cover call strategy. All right. Hopefully that helps. I know it's a little bit advanced, but again, as we repeat things over and over and over, you kind of get the concepts, and you'll pick it up. Believe me. But sometimes it sounds kind of like Greek first few times, but just like anything else, repetition. All right, let's see who else we got. Okay, I think we covered everybody. Any other questions around stock?
Hey, Mike,
Yes, sir.
if you want to go through Milton, he's on vacation, and I spoke with him last night, so that's why he's not on.
Okay, yeah, I can look at Milton's piece.
Okay, all right.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, so Milton is he's playing. Actually, it's a nice segue. Thanks for that, Dre. Milton is playing covered calls on this PLTR. All right, so he's been particularly at this 24 level. So let's go back to Yahoo and get our numbers for this PLTR. Okay, so PLTR trading at 24.43, and these 25s are trading at 31 cents. So again, 24.43, and we said that's 31 cent. Take the 31 cent divided by 24.43. So you're talking about a 1.2%, 1.2% for this cover call strategy, which you can make in a week. And I think I believe this is a weekly. Let me make sure. Yeah, October 29th. So it expires next Friday. So, in your options chain, you can see here, you can go weeklies. So the 29th, the 5th, the 12th. I think that the 19th is actually the normal monthly options. This would be the fourth Friday. I don't know what the fourth Friday is in a month. Let me see. Go to my calendar. Where's my calendar? Okay. So what's the fourth Friday in November? 1, 2, 3. Third Friday. Okay, so third Friday is the 15th. So the 15th is the 12th. The 12th would be the, make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Yeah, I was in October. Okay, it's November. Yeah, so 12th, the 12th would be the monthly strike. Whereas the 29th and the November 5th, these are referred to as weeklies. But the normal one. So options, if they're monthly options, typically they're going to expire on the third Friday of the month, right? But if you got some that are occurring before the third Friday, then these are the weeklies. And these are just the expiration dates on these. So that's all it is. Just tells, when they expire. And so that's all there. So we were just looking at the weeklies on these pieces. So again, in those three examples, the Fubo, the Tesla, and the PLTR, the Fubo has the greatest amount of premium to be collected at 2.5%, whereas Tesla was 1.9, and this was 1.2 on the PLTR. But going back to Milt's PLTR in terms of the chart, it's really holding here at this 24 level. If it breaks down, you really want to see what happens and if it can hold higher than that 24 and if it can hold above this 23.11 area. And 23, and just say 23 to make it even. So if as long as it stays above 23, then this is fine. But this 24 area here is going to be key. From 24 to 23 is really going to be key to figure out if it continues to go sideways. Now, one thing that is good so far is, let me pull this over, make it a little bit bigger. So you can see here, we're just going sideways. So earlier was talking with Andre about that DWAC. This is what I would want to see in that stock. Give it some more time to just trade sideways to establish a pattern, because this is starting to show a pattern here that it really is going to, hold at this 23.82, 24 area. And if that continues to hold, that shows that buyers are saying that this is, a good area of value. Now, a lot of times when you start to build sideways action, so let's look back and see where it's happened before. So we had about 6 to 7 days, 8 days here, sideways action right here on that 24. Down here with sideways action at this 2150 area. A little bit sideways action right here, back at this 24 area, back in April, earlier this year. So you want to see that sideways action because it's either going to break below, which it did in this case. Here, sideways action down at this 21 level. It held for a while, then it became the base to go higher. Got here, it based out again, going sideways, and then that also became a launching point to go even higher. And then it went up, it couldn't sustain. And so you can see here, it couldn't sustain this 28, 29 level. It hit it once here, came back maybe 4 or 5 days later, it hit that 29 again. And then it couldn't hold that. Then you got sellers coming in and they sold it off pretty hard. But then you got the buyers coming back in that they're buying, at this 20, 23 and change level. And now you broke that downtrend. And so now they're just kind of getting back to this 24 level. So use these areas of support and these patterns to be able to, help with your entries and your exits, because, that's why this charting, and create your watch list, these stocks. And so say, for instance, somebody come to you and say, hey, here's a stock I want you to take a look at, or you hear about something on the news, or, maybe a product or service that you use on your job, or, commercials you watch on TV. You go find the stock, see if it's public, and then put it in your watch list, and then draw your support and resistance line, look and see if it start to develop trends, draw your trend lines, and then you can start to see all this is really about pattern recognition. Do you see patterns that repeat themselves? And can you take this knowledge from those patterns in order to make trade decisions that's going to make you some money? As a simplest way to explain why we're doing this and what we're trying to identify. So, and you all, are exposed to different companies and stocks that, others may not follow. So it's important to keep your watch list and to keep up with it. So over time, you'll become familiar with certain areas. So let me show you. I bought this stock here this week. All right, so I used to be an owner of this stock at much higher levels, but for whatever reason, this thing fell out of bed. So you can see here, it hit this high back in 70 back in July, and it just got crushed so it went down from the 70 down to this, what is that, 55, and actually tried to get up, couldn't, went sideways, and then it broke, and then it went down from here. So actually, let me correct this one because it's not accurate. Yeah. So you can see this trend line here, and then it broke. So that's 1 point there and 1 point there. So I got my slope, but just this thing was in a free fall from 59 all the way down to $30. So let's look at that and what that is percentage wise. So actually we started much higher. So I'm gonna show both of them. So you go from here, and that run, you're talking, what is that? That's a 55% downtrend. But think about, let me go to the weekly and show you where it really fell from, right? So it came from 95, tried to stabilize in this 60 level, got back up to 70, then fell out of bed, came back down to this 57 level, and then went all the way back down. So if you measure this whole thing from here, you're talking from 90 to 30. What is that? 66% move down. It's brutal. So I sold somewhere up in here, and then using this trend line, I just said, I don't know how much lower this thing is gonna go, but I'm gonna just draw this trend line and I'm gonna wait to break trend. So it broke trend, and then that's on a weekly. So let me go back here. So it broke this trend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So it broke this trend last week. I think technically, let me draw this out some more, and I'll show you where the trend actually broke at. Get the right tool. Sorry. So if I take this and extend this trend line here, keep the slope the same. So technically, it only broke this trend. Put a little circle here to identify it on the chart, and I'll make it bigger. It only broke this trend right here, right? So this trend was really only broken at this green bar here at this 3260 area, right? So that was last week, probably Tuesday or Wednesday on the 14th, whatever the 14th was. So it broke the trend here, and now it started to go up. And one of the things about the trend lines where it help you, as you see stuff, so let's look at this. All right, so it's right here. So I got my support level, so 55, and I bought at 55. I said, that's support, it should hold, didn't hold. Oh, I got another support area here at 52. It should hold, no, it didn't hold. I got another support area here at 46. It should have hold, but no, it didn't hold. So what happens, even if you have horizontal support here, my blue lines, it doesn't necessarily say that it's gonna obey those areas. So when I saw this thing in a trend, I said, let me just draw the trend line and wait for a break to the upside. And by being patient and waiting, it saved me re-entering this thing on the way down. And by waiting for this confirmation to the upside, and I was a little late getting in. I think I got in at, 37 or 38. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens here, because this could be, so let me show this. So right here, got a little trend, started here, right? Up 4 days. Now we got this little bounce here, got pulled back yesterday. So technically this little trend is broken by yesterday's bar, but want to see if it can sustain this and then continue going back up toward the 40 area. If not, then this, so I'll put this, I'll add this as a support area at this $30.89. So either it's going to come back, in this somewhere in this area, or it's going to resume higher. But I'm gonna keep an eye on it. But the main piece here was this entry. Now, this thing could, because you can see here. Let's look at what happened in the past. So let me show you a similar example. Sorry. Let me show a similar example here. So, all right, right here, I broke above that just a little bit, but broke above that uptrend. I got a few days up, went sideways, and broke down. So even though it broke that trend here and kind of went sideways for a while, it couldn't sustain it. So the reason why I'm pointing that out is I'm really at a similar point here. It broke the uptrend. I'm in it. It could go sideways and then resume a downward trend. So what I'm gonna have to do is really look at this level here, see what happened. So if I draw a box, this is the area that I'm gonna be concentrating on. So I'm gonna be concentrating right here to see if this is gonna stay within that box or is it gonna break above. So it's gonna stay with it. If it stays within the box, okay, build sideways, okay, that'll be fine. A little disappointed, but okay, fine. So I can trade this a couple ways. I can say if I'm aggressive, I'll say, hey, it broke my trend. If it closes on Monday and it's still below this trend, just sell it and move on, right? That's one way. If I believe in it, and I kind of do, because again, I'm looking at the entire context. We're down 60%. This thing, now we're down 60%, and I'm looking for a bounce right off of this, where the buyer's going to come in. So if it could just stay in this range and go sideways, then I won't feel too bad. But if it breaks below this 31 and goes lower, then we just may be in a newer downtrend to much lower levels. So I'm gonna have a decision to make here probably this week in terms of what this thing is gonna do. But the point of it is, this trend line saved me a lot of money by not jumping in too early, because the trend wasn't broken. It was still just going down, and I was just waiting until I got confirmation to the upside. So just like that works on the downside, let me show you an uptrend. So I can actually show the same chart here. So let's show this uptrend here. All right, so you can see this uptrend. If you bought here, as long as this thing stays to this top side, the trend is still intact. It touched it here, but it stayed to this top side. So I could just roll the trend to the top side. So when you see, so let's look at that example that Barry just talked about in Tesla. This is another example of using your trend. So let me get back out. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Pull this over to where we are today. Okay, so look at this trend line here. It's a long trend line. We had a couple of violations of it, but the trend recovered. It got back intact. So if you were down here at this 550 and you rode the trend, you may have got spooked out at this 600 level, but it got back to the upside. You re-entered. It broke down again. You re-entered once above to the upside. But if you just played this trend and kept obeying it and following it, you could have just continued to participate there, because you never got a sustained close above. You got a close here and you were down 4 days, but the trend continued to the upside and it was back in play. So if you'd have just followed this trend up here, you could go from, now sometimes you're not going to be perfect and exact on these trends. Sometimes you get out, you get in, but if you use this as an advantage based upon this chart, you can actually look at this trend and it can help you stay in a stock where you may get spooked out. If you do get stopped out of stock, because it broke below the trend, but it just gave you a head fake. Then once the trend is confirmed to the upside again, just get back in it and use your trend line again. So here, you could have got stopped out below the, what is this? Below the 682, I'm sorry. It got down here to 648, but this is your confirmation. It's back up to 692. You could have re-entered and then followed. You may have got a little worried here at the 699, but you're up $7 here, and just continue to follow. You came back down, touched the trend again, but now you're at the 721. From your 680 entry, you still up what? 40 points. So if you'd just obeyed this trend, so trend lines work to the upside and downside. And actually, you know, I've known about trend lines a long time, but actually as a result of this class and explaining them, it really has helped me to use them more in my trading. Whereas before I knew what they were, but I really didn't use them. And so they, you know, and so the example that I just showed in the STNE, it really is a testament that it works, and it saved me, because I would have bought at some of these prior levels, but by using this trend line and just waiting on it and seeing it, it saved me from entering too early. So, you know, it's probably just a long explanation of saying use trend lines, use your watch list, you know, and chart your stuff out on your chart. You know, we've gone through this, you know, many times. You know, if you're having any troubles with it, you know, just let me know. If you don't want to do it in a public session, you know, we can do it on some one-on-one, but I want you all to just really get familiar with, you know, drawing these trends, drawing these horizontal support lines, because you can use this information and it can help you. So I definitely appreciate you all's time as always.